Perfect.
I didn't finish it.
Psych! Perfect.
Welcome to part 2 of the Ultimate Kanye West Iceberg, an extensive deep dive uncovering the intricacies of one of the most polarizing artists and humans of all time. In this video, we'll be unpacking the second half of the iceberg, so if you missed part 1, I highly recommend you go check that out before moving on. Since putting out that video, King Khan and I have expanded the iceberg even further, and as a result, there's quite a lot to explore and uncover in this video. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and do what you gotta do to get comfortable, because this is going to be one long wild ride. So without further ado, let's jump into it, and continue to find out just how deep your knowledge of Kanye truly goes. Awesome. Awesome is the name of an unreleased Kanye song that is an emotional love letter to Kim Kardashian. During a 2017 interview with Jennifer Lawrence, who was guest hosting on Jimmy Kimmel, Kim revealed that Kanye first wrote the heartfelt track during the sessions for Watch the Throne back in 2011, when they had only just gotten together.
Has Kanye ever written songs about you that we don't know about?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what they are?
Well, there was one that he hasn't released, but he sang it at the Met called Awesome. And
Aww.
he, before we got together, he had played it for me when he was recording Watch the Throne.
The auto-tuned ballad was first previewed by Kanye during a live performance at the Met Gala in May of 2013, who passionately sang the song to Kim, who was in the crowd. With Kanye also going on to preview the song live a week later at the Adult Swim Festival in New York. Reports from the time indicated that the song was intended to be released on his upcoming project, but when Kanye released his album Yeezus a month later in June of 2013, the song was nowhere to be found. We wouldn't hear the song again until a year later in 2014, when the song was played during Kim and Kanye's wedding day special on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. However, whereas the original track was a solo ballad, this version notably featured vocals from both Ty Dolla $ign and Charlie Wilson, as apparently the song was returned to during the Yeezus 2 or So Help Me God sessions.
Oh my God. It's crazy that, Kanye and I have been so close for so many years. I finally feel like, I'm marrying my best friend.
'Cause baby, you're awesome. Don't let nobody bring you down. You're so awesome.
I'm so just thankful to have him in my life, and I just can't believe this moment's here.
I gotta move, I gotta dance, I gotta live, I gotta love, I gotta hope, I got a chance. 'Cause baby, don't let nobody bring you down. You're so awesome. You're so out the park. You're so after dark. You're so sleepless nights. Oh, this feels so right.
Unfortunately, the track would never be officially released. However, the original version of the song has since leaked online in full, showcasing one of Kanye's most heartfelt tracks, which is honestly kind of heartbreaking to listen to today.
'Cause I'd rather do nothing with you than something with somebody new. Yeah, I'd rather do nothing with you than something with somebody new.
Cut Kendrick features. Alternative versions of Kanye's songs All Day and Father Stretch My Hands have leaked online since their initial release, both of which contain Kendrick Lamar verses that were ultimately cut from the final version of the two tracks.
I fuck around and crush a brand new Bugatti in the motherfucking lobby, so you know I'm in the building with your kiss, so baby, take a picture. I'm killing falling out. 24/7, 365 days. Everybody getting paid, nigga looking at me like I'm worth both MJs. Shot down PJ on a PJ.
John Mayer collaborations. Back in 2004, Kanye, John Mayer, and Common took a trip to the theaters to see the movie Ray, a movie starring Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles.
Tell your mama, tell your pa, when I say my dog, I say mama, don't do right. Yeah, don't do right.
This movie would of course go on to serve as the main inspiration to get Jamie Foxx to sing his iconic Ray Charles interpolation on Gold Digger, with Kanye opting to use Foxx's vocals instead of going with the original sample.
She give me money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a kind of friend indeed. Oh, she's a gold digger way over town that digs on me. She give me money.
Now I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke.
But not only did their trip to the theaters result in this iconic song, it also sparked a studio session later that night, which would result in 2 great collaborations with John Mayer. One of the tracks that came out of these sessions was named Bittersweet Poetry, a song that would end up as one of the 2 bonus tracks on the Japanese CD of Graduation. The song was actually originally meant for late registration, but Kanye decided to leave it off the project after he felt it didn't fit the vibe of the rest of the songs.
Bittersweet.
The other song that came from that night's studio sessions was Common's track Go, a Kanye-produced track that would end up on Common's 2004 album B. John Mayer has writing credits on the song and can also be heard singing during the chorus, with Kanye using his vocals in order to mimic an old soul sample, just like how he used Jamie Foxx's vocals on Gold Digger.
When you heard this for the first time, was your mind blown?
Yes. I was in the studio with Kanye and Common. I guess it's 2005. We all went and saw Ray in the theater.
Right.
Left Ray, went to the studio, and I actually had this line, on the count of 3, everybody run back to your fantasy.
On the count of 3, everybody run back to your fantasy. Now, go.
Second.
Go. And then I go in the, and I pretended that this was basically a sample that didn't exist.
Yeah.
So the idea is that like that would be some Hall & Oates record where it was like, baby, I don't wanna go. Right? Like reverse engineering a sample. Baby, I don't want you go. Baby, don't you go.
Go. And on the count of 3, go. And on the count of 3, everybody run back to your fantasy. Now.
Also, it's worth noting that Kanye and Mayer would actually end up performing live together in 2007, as they would help assist the Police for a performance of their song Message in a Bottle at Live Earth.
Message in a bottle. Mr. Kanye West in the to the only police good in the hood, and now throw your hands in the air, and we gonna elect John for mayor, and wave him around like you just don't care, yeah. Wave him around like you just don't care, yeah.
Believe What I Say. Believe What I Say is the name of an unreleased Kanye track that is potentially going to be released on his upcoming album Donda. A 39-second snippet of the song was posted on Kanye's Twitter account in September of 2020, with the track having a nice upbeat summer vibe that features an infectious sample of Lauryn Hill's 1998 classic, Doo-Wop.
Yo, remember back on the Bully when cats used to harmonize like... Yo, my men and my women. Yo, my men and my women.
You need something unexpected. Some form of weapon.
You asked him to feel protected and still feel protected. Just one time for the record. Just one time for the record. Don't agree with the message. Don't agree with the methods. Don't let go, that's in lanes, man. Like done. When let go, not when the last time you know.
Running on stage. During Kanye's 2007 performance at Live Earth, he performed part of his first verse on Touch the Sky in a full-out sprint.
Take 'em back to the club. Think about it, ever I stand online. Wanted to dance, I went to take 'em ever.
Beck Grammy Incident. It's the 2015 Grammy Awards, and Beck has just won Album of the Year for his album Morning Phase, surprisingly beating out Beyoncé's critically acclaimed self-titled project. As he arrives on stage, Kanye jumps out of his seat and approaches the podium, seemingly preparing to interrupt Beck like he had done to Taylor Swift back in 2009, after she too had questionably beaten out Beyoncé that year.
But Beyoncé had one of the best videos of all time.
As he approaches the stage, just watch the look of terror on Jay-Z and Pharrell's faces. But thankfully, this time he was just joking, as he would shake his finger and turn around before ever taking the mic off of Beck's hands.
I need some help. Come back.
But this doesn't mean Kanye wasn't still upset over the result. In a post-event interview with E! Magazine, Kanye would even go on to suggest that Beck should have handed over the award to Beyoncé in order to, quote, respect artistry.
Flawless Beyoncé video. And Beck needs to respect artistry, and he should have given his award to Beyoncé. And at this point, we tired of it.
However, Kanye later publicly apologized to Beck on Twitter and said during an interview with the Sunday Times that he was inaccurate to criticize the artistry of a man who plays 14 instruments. And funny enough, that year in 2015, Kanye had actually squashed his beef with Taylor Swift.
Right now, I am honored to present the 2015 Vanguard Award to my friend, Kanye West.
And when they went out one night for dinner to talk, the Beck album that won Album of the Year was actually playing over the restaurant speakers, and Taylor had to tell Kanye that it was Beck playing after he had asked.
And you know, I'm gonna go ahead, tell y'all, like, the other day, like, I went to dinner and sat down with Taylor Swift, right? And ironically, they were like playing the Beck album.
Ironically, or you think they did that on purpose?
No, maybe they did it on purpose so I could finally hear it. But I was like, man.
So you hadn't even heard it when you did the Grammy?
I was like, man, this is like kind of good. I ain't even gonna lie.
Taylor Swift phone call. So Taylor and Kanye actually had somewhat of a friendship in 2015, but after Kanye referenced her on his track Famous in 2016, it fell apart.
For all my Southside niggas that know me best, I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that bitch famous. Goddamn! I made that bitch famous.
Initially, after the song's release that year, Taylor was angry with Kanye's misogynistic comments. So in defense of her husband, Kim stepped out and told the media that Taylor knew the song was coming out before its release, and even showed a phone call on Snapchat, proving that she agreed to her inclusion on the track.
For all my Southside niggas that know me best, I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex.
I know,
definitely
it's like a compliment kind of. Yeah, I mean, go with whatever line you think is better. It's obviously very tongue-in-cheek either way. And I really appreciate you telling me about it. That's really nice.
Oh, yeah. I thought I just had a responsibility to you as a friend, and I mean...
And, if people ask me about it, I think it would be great for me to be like, look, she called me and told me the line before it came out. Like, joke's on you guys, we're fine.
However, Taylor was upset with the word bitch being used on the song, something she claimed Kanye never mentioned to her on the phone that day. And it wasn't until 2020, when the entire phone conversation leaked, that we would get confirmation of this being true. During the conversation, Taylor does in fact agree to her line being used on the song. However, Kanye clearly never mentions using the word bitch during the conversation.
Okay, now what if later in the song, I was also to have said, I made her famous? Is that,
Did you say that?
Yes, it might have happened.
It's worth noting though, that Kanye didn't think using this word in the song was offensive at all, as he argued on Twitter that the word bitch is an endearing word in hip-hop. similar to how the N-word is used.
I miss the old Kanye, straight from the
How Kanye wrote I Love Kanye.
Kanye West, the boy! Alright, how did you write I Love Kanye? Okay, come on.
I just thought about what I love.
Right here,
Mama's Boyfriend. Mama's Boyfriend is the name of an unreleased Kanye track that was made during the Hawaii sessions for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. During the song, Kanye reflects on his time growing up with his mother Donda after she divorced his father Ray when he was just 3 years old, as different men were coming into his life as he grew up and dating his mother. The song was first previewed back in 2010 when Kanye performed the whole track a cappella on top of a table in front of the entire Facebook headquarters in California.
And it's called Mama's Boyfriend. I never liked you niggas. Who knew one day I'd be just like you niggas? Alright, you niggas. Alright, you niggas. When I become my mama's boyfriends.
After the song failed to make the final cut for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, fans wondered where the track had gone, until eventually they were met with a leaked version of the song the following year in 2011.
We are loving this brand new track from West that leaked online today called Mama's Boyfriend. Besides the awesome beat, the message is one that a lot of people can definitely relate to. In the song, Kanye sings directly to the new dude in his mom's life with lyrics like Old Spice wearing, short chain wearing,
Dress shoes and jogging pants wearing, church sock wearing, when you first stop caring about your appearance, when you get here anyway, I already got parents, don't try to.
However, after the song hit the internet, Kanye's label stepped out shortly after and reported that the leak was fake, as someone had apparently gotten a hold of Kanye's vocals and added their own production to it. And furthermore, DJ Premier, who helped produce the track, also came out with a tweet during this time confirming that the beat was in fact fake. According to Complex, Kanye actually originally performs the song over a Madlib beat, but after he felt it wasn't the right fit for the track, he had Q-Tip and DJ Premier handle the production instead. And Q-Tip would actually go on to preview this real version of the track in 2015, when he played it during an interview at the Red Bull Music Academy. The track contains a prominent sample of Billy Joel's 1977 track, Moving Out, a sample that Kanye was adamant on including due to the subject matter of the song.
We was talking about this Billy Joel thing, moving out. He said, I just want to use that because I want that. I remember I want that nigga to move out. I don't want to use that. Moving on. Nah, he wanted to use that. He's like, yo, so flip it, like see what you do. So
You wanna know by now? Who needs a house out in Hackensack? Is that all you get for your money? And it's still such a good time. That's what it's all about. I'm under that screwed up that I never liked you niggas. Who knew one day I'd be just like you niggas? Alright, you niggas. Alright, you niggas. When I become my mama's boyfriends.
It's also worth noting that Q-Tip confirmed in the interview that Kanye made a bunch of different versions of the track, even one with a Soulja Boy feature.
With Ye, we try things like we do so many different versions of things. And we were in Hawaii, and that's not even a real. He did another version with Soulja Boy, like too. He did so many versions.
Thank God for Drugs. Thank God for Drugs is the original title of Kanye's 2013 album Yeezus, as was recently confirmed by Kanye's former art director Joe Perez, who shared a photo of the original cover in a since-deleted Instagram post. Yeezus 2. Yeezus 2 was the potential sequel to Kanye's 2013 album Yeezus. Rumors for the project started back in 2013 after Rick Rubin's interview with the Daily Beast at the time, during which he revealed that the initial material on Yeezus had to be cut down drastically, from about 3 hours of material.
And it came over and it was, we listened to probably 3.5 hours of works in progress. Like a lot of stuff.
According to the interview, he told Kanye that maybe Yeezus was just the first half, alluding to a potential second project. And when asked directly if Yeezus 2 was coming down the line, he simply replied, might be. During about a 2-year period from 2013 to early 2015, there are songs that Kanye worked on that have since leaked online, assumed to be a part of this potential Yeezus sequel. And in 2017, a playlist by Sci-Hi the Prince, a Good Music signee and frequent Kanye collaborator, was discovered on Spotify. In it, 6 songs labeled as tracks from Yeezus 2. However, as we know, nothing ever came of this project, with the album eventually morphing into So Help Me God, which would in turn morph into the life of Pablo. God Level. God Level is the name of an unreleased Kanye track that was first teased in the background of an Adidas commercial back in 2014.
Provide a new car. You don't seek murder like this often. God level. God level.
The track was said to have initially been worked on during the sessions for Yeezus 2, but was also intended to be released on So Help Me God, after the sequel to Yeezus was abandoned. The track has the same type of mixture of abrasion and beauty that was explored on many tracks on Yeezus, and when a demo version of the song was finally leaked back in 2019, the full potential of this track was finally showcased.
God level.
Donda's Boy. In 2017, on an episode of the A Waste of Time podcast, guest Rory Farrell detailed his experience interning at Def Jam back in the summer of 2010. During the interview, he told the story of the time Kanye came into their office and made everyone wear a suit before they were to do any type of business.
Comes in and is just throwing a fit at how shitty everyone is dressed. So he says, "I'm not doing business today until everyone's in a suit."
As he would play them his entire album the next day, with everyone apparently showing up to work dressed in cheap suits.
So the next day, people are scrambling to find black, not just regular suits, black suits, white shirt, black tie.
At the time, Pharrell claimed the album was called Donda's Boy and consisted of 10 tracks, all 10 minutes long, with no features.
He then takes out his laptop and starts playing My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And at this time, it was called Donda's Boy. I don't know if that ever went out, but it was called Donda's Boy. And the idea was he was going to do 10 tracks, and each track was going to be 10 minutes. The dream. Wow. It was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy that was just Kanye West, and it was amazing.
However, no other accounts have gone on to validate this story, and Mike Dean and Plain Pat, who both worked with Kanye extensively on this album, even responded to this story on Twitter with apparent confusion. So it's probably to be taken with a grain of salt, but interesting nonetheless. Drake sneak diss on Sicko Mode. Many have theorized that Drake sneak disses Kanye during his feature on Travis Scott's 2018 mega hit, Sicko Mode. These are the lines in question.
Man, I crept down a block, made a right, yeah. Cut the lights, yeah. Pay the price, yeah.
Since Kim and Kanye's house is down the block from Drake's house on the right, fans believe this line was alluding to Drake sneaking down the block to their house and sleeping with Kim while the lights were off. Kanye even acknowledged the potential for this diss on Twitter, saying that he likes the track, but not the sneak diss. Brockhampton meeting on Kanye to the. Kanye to the is a popular forum for fans of Kanye West, and all the way back in 2011, a young Kevin Abstract made a post on the forum asking, "Anybody want to make a band?" This band would eventually become Brockhampton, as several of the members met through this very post.
So where'd you guys meet? How do you put a band together with 1 million players?
Some of us met in high school, some of us met on a Kanye West fan forum.
Met all my friends through Kanye West and I ain't met him yet. Do I trust him? Probably not.
Kanye using the Force. Violent Crimes Ghostwritten. In September of 2018, Kanye revealed on Twitter that the verses on Violent Crimes were actually written by Partisan Fontaine, who he referred to as the ghost of the industry, among a few others. Given the emotional and personal content that these verses explore, this revelation rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way.
No daddy don't play, not when it comes to their daughters. Don't do no yoga, don't do Pilates. Just play piano and stick to karate. I pray your bodies, drink more like mine and not like your mommy's.
No More Parties in LA is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy era. The beat from the classic 2016 collab track with Kendrick Lamar and Madlib was actually sent to Kanye during the sessions for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy all the way back in 2010, as Kanye reportedly considered using 5 beats from Madlib during this time, none of which actually ended up being used on the final project. So Kanye recorded the original demo for this track back in 2010, putting the song on hold for 5 years before returning to it, later adding a Kendrick Lamar verse.
I remember a couple years ago, it was reported that you put my Madlib beats on hold. When can we expect to hear something from you two?
You know what? I'm gonna go back to that song. This one, the No More Parties in LA. I'm gonna just like do the record. It was like some over the crib you left your Ray-Bans. My sheet still
orange from your spray tan. It was more than soft porn for the gay man. She remember my sprinter said I was in the great van.
No more parties in LA. No more parties in LA. some shit. I'm gonna load it up. This is during Dark Fantasy.
No more parties in LA. Please, baby, no more parties in LA. No more parties in LA. Please, baby, no more parties in LA.
Something else notable about this track is the fact that after its release, Freddie Gibbs jokingly said in an interview that Kanye stole the beat from him, as Madlib must have given him the beat for the track after Kanye failed to include it on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
The No More Parties in LA, which came out of nowhere to me. I just saw a thing that said produced by Madlib, and I was like, hold on.
That was my beat, really. They just got on it before I did. And then
Is that really true?
Yeah, I had to show them how to do it.
And Freddie would actually go on to release his own version of the song shortly after Kanye's, titled Cocaine Parties in LA.
Cocaine parties in LA. I'm jugging at some cocaine parties in LA, yeah. Cocaine parties in LA. Do my setup at some cocaine parties in LA. Gangsta Kid.
Furthermore, after the release of No More Parties in LA in 2016, Madlib reportedly sent Kanye 6 CDs worth of beats. And once again, after he failed to use any of them in time, they eventually made their way to Freddie Gibbs. And this time, he wouldn't squander the opportunity, using the beats to help create his and Madlib's collaborative album, Bandana.
Oh yeah, 6 CDs.
6 CDs.
Yeah, Gibbs took all of them. He rapped over everything. Kanye waited too long. Gibbs rapped over everything.
So that basically, those beat CDs is what became Pinata, is what you're saying?
Nah, the new
one.
The new Bandana joint, yeah.
Turned up like Tony Jugger the speakerphones. Fuck Sosa, bitch, I got soldiers that I put my people on. 2009, the bitch food stamps what I was eating on. Got 4 waist quarters, half 9 pieces on my Nokia phone. Squad.
Do you see this coat?
Are you venturing into the fashion industry and is Kim going to be amused?
Am I venturing into the fashion industry? Do you see this cup? Man, come on, man.
Unreleased Yandhi music videos. Kanye shot music videos for both New Body and We Got Love off of his lost album Yandhi. Footage from both these videos has since been leaked online, as We Got Love was notably filmed during Kanye's trip to Africa, and New Body boasted an extravagant set with a giant pink dinosaur. However, these videos will most likely never be fully released because, well, the album isn't ever coming out. I mean, at least not until like 30 years from now when he ends up finishing the album in his old age.
It's nice.
Honestly, I see Yandhi becoming the new Smile by the Beach Boys, another lost album that had a similar sense of mystery and lore in the music world. That is, until Brian Wilson eventually ended up completing the project in his old age, nearly 40 years after its initial scrapping. I I wouldn't be surprised at all if Kanye ends up doing something similar and decides to finish Yandhi when he gets older. Kanye East. Wesley Jackson and the MTV News Crew. During the 2013 sequel to the movie Anchorman, Kanye makes a surprise cameo as Wesley Jackson, head of the MTV News Crew.
Oh, not now. Fall back, fall back.
If y'all gonna get down, then Wesley Jackson and the MTV News Crew went in.
What's MTV? I think it's a venereal disease.
The most requested video of the day, a new band called Burgundy Sucking Chest Wound.
He's a were hyena.
I'ma call Michael Jackson. I got a video idea.
Rick, what the hell is that? It's a gun from the future.
No fair, he's got a gun from the future.
Where did you get it from?
According to producer Judd Apatow, Kanye actually held up production for 2 whole hours over complications with his costume. Because after Kanye showed up to the shoot and saw the red jacket that he was supposed to wear, he was reportedly very upset with Apatow's selection, telling him that it must have been the first jacket he picked out on Google Images.
And so we gave him the red J.J. Jackson jacket from MTV Heyday.
Yes.
And then I came to ask him how he was doing, and he said he did not like the jacket.
Okay.
And I said, well, what's wrong? And he says, this is like you went on Google Image and looked up MTV VJ, and the first image that came up, you went with that. And I was like, yeah.
So Kanye went back into the production trailer, proclaiming that he would go on Google Images himself and look through 1,000 images until he found the perfect jacket. 2 hours later, Kanye reportedly finally emerged from the trailer, saying, quote, "I guess this is fine," and opting to go with the original choice.
And then he said, well, I'm going on Google Image, I'm gonna look at 1,000 images. And I said, okay. And then an hour and a half later, he came out wearing the red jacket, and he said, I guess this is fine.
Will Ferrell has also since recalled his experience with Kanye on set.
Now, how was it working with Kanye on the set?
It was great.
Revealing on the Jonathan Ross show in 2013 that he was blasting his new album Yeezus throughout the time he was there, and that he had to send an 18-year-old intern to go tell Kanye to turn it down.
He was playing the new tracks from the album that had yet to be released.
So you had a first peek listen?
We had a first listen, and he was playing the tracks a lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's kind of strange.
Over and over again.
That must be tricky when you're trying to make
Even when you're trying to film.
Yeah.
Playing the tracks, yeah. And they're loud. They're loud, too.
Whose job was it to explain to Kanye that wasn't...
A scared 18-year-old intern.
Stronger Akira imagery. The music video for Kanye's 2007 hit track Stronger was inspired by the 1988 anime film Akira, as Kanye has cited the film as his greatest creative inspiration and the greatest animation achievement in history. A side-by-side comparison of the music video for Stronger and the footage from Akira can be found on YouTube, making the imagery very clear. The College Dropout Video Anthology. The College Dropout Video Anthology was a DVD released back in 2004 containing music videos for several of the tracks on Kanye's debut album, The College Dropout. The DVD notably features 3 different versions of the Jesus Walks music video, all of which had different directors.
God show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down. The only thing that I pray is that my feet don't fail me now. And I don't think there's nothing I could do now to right my wrongs. I wanna talk to God, but I'm afraid cause we ain't spoken so long.
Hey, this nigga Kanye don't be bullshit. This motherfucker did one video, he said, hey, I'm not sure about that one. Then he did another one, said, hey, I'm not sure about that one. This motherfucker doing the third one, and where the fuck we bring it? To home. We in motherfucking Inglewood, goddammit. We here. I believe that shit.
God show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down. The only thing that I pray is that my feet don't fail me now. And I don't think there's
nothing I can do now to right my wrongs. I wanna talk to God, but I'm afraid cause we ain't spoken so long.
Child Rebel Soldier. Child Rebel Soldier is the name of a hip-hop supergroup composed of Kanye West, Lupe Fiasco, and Pharrell Williams.
What's this supergroup, Kanye, Pharrell, and Lupe?
Child Rebel Soldiers?
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
It's a supergroup with me, Kanye, and Pharrell.
What do you play, the bass?
The bass. Assistant rapper. It's the music, it's fashion, and it's art.
The group was first created in 2007 with the release of the song Us Placers, a track off of Kanye's mixtape titled Can't Tell Me Nothing, released prior to his 2007 album Graduation. During the song, Kanye, Lupe, and Pharrell all spit verses over a prominent piano sample from Thom Yorke's 2006 track, The Eraser.
GRIPPINPINE, spell it, bitch, come on, that's me. I bring a burning sensation to the urban eye, like a eye drop, a turpentine. You can listen to the serpent fine, but the earth's got gas once it burps, it's fine.
Shortly after the song's release, plans were set in motion for an upcoming album, which was eventually revealed to be titled God Unwilling. In 2008, the three of them would all tour together as part of Kanye's Glow in the Dark tour, and then that same year, the group were also featured on a remix of NERD's track Everybody Knows.
That girl is so wired, I know she's so tired, but ooh, she on fire. $100 bills, look at you, $100 bills, this ain't new.
However, we wouldn't hear the trio on a track together again until 2010, when Kanye released the track Don't Stop as part of his Good Friday series, sparking new excitement for a potential project.
Carrera, raised in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle era. Water bearer, tell the truth, I dare ya, you lie. So eat this whole bottle of these jalapeno peppers. The terror made in America to live.
During this time, Kanye even reported that their album was set to come out right after his collab album with Jay-Z. However, nothing ever came of it, and in July of 2013, Lupe would finally put any potential for a future Child Rebel Soldier album to rest. Can't Look in My Eyes. Can't Look in My Eyes is the name of an unreleased Kanye and Kid Cudi track that leaked back in 2016. The song revolves around a futuristic arpeggio sample from Daft Punk's 2010 soundtrack for the movie Tron Legacy.
People talk shit about me, deep down they knowin' they ain't right. When I walk in the room, they can't look in my eyes. When I walk in the room, they can't look in my eyes. I be laughing at you niggas, taunting you niggas. Who the winner this year? Surrounded by fake niggas. Ain't fake niggas trying to get in my ear.
According to various sources, the song was actually first worked on as far back as 2012, as it reportedly originally featured Travis Scott and was intended to be released on his debut mixtape, Owl Pharaoh. However, after it didn't end up being featured on Travis's album, the song was reportedly worked on either during the sessions for Cruel Summer or for an early 2013 sequel to Cruel Summer, Cruel Winter. In addition to the prominent Daft Punk sample on the song, the track also features a notable vocal sample from Michael Jackson's classic 1982 smash hit, Billie Jean. For some reason though, the song wouldn't make the cut for the album, with Cudi going on to release his own solo version of the track in 2014, on his album Satellite Flight, The Journey to Mother Moon, with a completely different instrumental and vocal take.
People talk shit about me, deep down they knowin' they ain't right. When I walk in the room, they can't look in my eyes. When I walk in the room, they can't look in my eyes.
It's a common misconception that the song was intended for Kanye's 2016 scrapped album, TurboGrafx-16, but because of the heavy video game type vibe of the track, I can see why people would think this. You Be is widely regarded as the holy grail of unreleased Kanye tracks. The song first came into circulation in 2015, with the track potentially going to be released on the scrapped album So Help Me God. The original recording of the song was extremely low quality, as it was merely a live recording from when Kanye first previewed the track backstage at the 2015 Glastonbury Festival. However, eventually we would get a more substantial leak, as the notorious hacker group Music Mafia would post a high-quality snippet online in 2017. The track is especially notable for either sampling or being directly inspired by the title theme from Stanley Kubrick's 1971 film Clockwork Orange.
Music Mafia.
I caught a wave, caught more air than Super Day, caught a layup, super paid, jet lag and trying to recuperate.
Along with Kanye's infectious chorus, during which he repeats the lines, "Can you be?"
You be, can you be, can you be, can you be, can you be, will you be, can you be, can you be?
Ever since the group buy for the song failed years ago, this has been the most sought after Kanye leak ever. It remains unknown how many times Kanye returned to the track over the years, as rumors have circulated that the song was returned to during the sessions for The Life of Pablo and TurboGrafx 16. The latest snippet to come from the track was heard during a 2020 Instagram livestream from producer Shay Pope, who showcased Travis Scott's feature on the song.
Stone-hearted, my love is cold-minded. Before we go, I got one question. Can you be?
In addition, in March of 2021, the full instrumental for the track was leaked online, which is what you've heard playing in the background of this entire section. Croc. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, record for Hype. Back in 2010, an early copy of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was discovered by an unknown user who had supposedly hacked into an email sent to someone on Hype Williams' management team. The file was labeled recordforhype.zip and appeared to be an early version of the album that Kanye had sent to the film director. The purpose being so Hype could get a feel for the music and they could start working on crafting the album's visuals. Every song on the zip file was password protected, and although 9 of the 15 passwords were discovered back in 2010, people eventually gave up trying to crack the rest. Over the years, there have been several attempts to crack the remaining codes, but to no avail. That is, until July of 2020, when the remaining 6 passwords were finally cracked, as well as the master password, "We Want Money," making all the songs playable and thus finally revealing the mysterious early version of this album. Turns out that the album sent to Hype Williams that day was actually quite different to the one we ended up getting. A lot of the songs were unfinished, the sequencing was completely different, and there were 5 tracks that didn't make the final cut for the album. One track from the Good Friday rollout's Chain Heavy.
My chain heavy, yeah, my chain heavy. My chain heavy, my chain too heavy. My chain heavy, yeah, my chain heavy.
2 tracks that would end up on Watch the Throne, That's My Bitch, and The Joy.
Yeah, that's my bitch. That's my bitch.
Such what a style. The joy of children laughing around you.
And 2 new interlude tracks, Sweat on My Face and Holding Me Back.
Here we go, like you should, like you should. Feel the sweat, feel the sweat on your face. Oh, good, oh, good, oh, good. Here we go, all right, Something is holding me back.
In addition, a lot of the songs are also slightly different from the final versions. For example, on Dark Fantasy, Nicki Minaj's narration is a completely different vocal take.
I guess you think you know the story. You don't. The real one is much too gory. The phony one, the only one you know, was cooked up years and years ago. They made it sound all whack and corny. Yes, it's awful, blasted boring. Twisted fiction, sick addiction. Well, gather round, children, zip it, listen.
On Blame Game, we hear Kanye singing the chorus instead of John Legend.
Let's play the blame
This
game. I
is
love
for
you.
Hype Williams.
Mom, let's play the blame game for sure. Let's play the blame game. I love you. More, let's play the blame game for sure.
And on Monster and So Appalled, Jay-Z's verses are absent. Also, it's worth noting that periodically during the album, there's a voice that will play in the middle of the songs which says, "This copy is for Hype Williams."
This copy is for Hype Williams.
Miley Cyrus Black Skinhead Remix. At the VMAs in 2013, Miley Cyrus infamously performed with Robin Thicke and made headlines after a raunchy performance filled with twerking and crotch grabbing.
Okay, now he was close, tried to domesticate ya, but you're an animal, baby, it's in nature.
The performance was everywhere in the news at the time, but something most people don't know about that night is the fact that Miley skips the VMA after party to go record with Kanye. As was confirmed by producer Mike Willmated at the time, that night, the two recorded a remix of Kanye's 2013 track, Black Skinhead, intended to be released on an upcoming remix project for Kanye's album Yeezus. However, this project would never be released, and we wouldn't hear the track that these two made that night until 3 years later, when it finally leaked in 2016.
For my theme song, my leather black jeans on, my by any means on, partin' I'm getting my scream on, enter the kingdom.
During the track's bridge, Miley notably interpolates the chorus of the 80s classic Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. In addition, Travis Scott also appears on the song with ad-libs and background vocals. David Bowie conspiracy. In a 2007 blog, an online blogger revealed their theory, explaining how Kanye West and David Bowie are weirdly linked together. Let me summarize the theory. On June 16th of 1972, David Bowie released his iconic album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. On the album's cover, Bowie stands directly under a bright glowing sign which reads, K West. Just mere coincidence? Well, it goes a little deeper. On the album's opening track titled 5 Years, Bowie paints the picture of a reality where the world ends in just 5 years' time. That is, of course, unless a Starman arrives to save us all, as he goes on to explain on the track Starman.
There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds.
Exactly 4 years and 23 days after the release of this album, just 1 week before Bowie predicted the world would end, Kanye West was officially born. And according to the theory, this had to be the Starman that Bowie was referring to, who was destined to save the planet. Furthermore, after Bowie's death in 2016, people turned to his posthumous album Black Star as confirmation for this theory, as Bowie confronts his oncoming death head-on on the title track, explaining that a black star will be there to take his place on the day he dies. And well, as the theory explains, Kanye is quite literally a black star, and therefore destined to be Bowie's successor.
Something happened on the day he died. Spirit rose a meter and stepped aside. Somebody else took his place and bravely cried, I'm a black star, I'm a black star.
A Boy is a Gun is Bounds 3. Tyler, the Creator's 2019 track A Boy's a Gun, off of his critically acclaimed album Igor, utilizes the exact same sample from Kanye's 2013 track Bound 2 on Yeezus, with both tracks sampling the incredibly soulful Bound by the Ponderosa Twins +1, released back in 1971.
Gon' be mad on vacation, Dutton whining around all these Jamaicans. This that prime shit, this that what we do, don't tell your mom shit.
Because of this shared sample, fans have noted that this track is essentially Bound 3, but it's not only because of the sample. Furthermore, Tyler actually worked with Kanye on the original version of Bound 2 during their early sessions for Yeezus. Commonly referred to as Bound 1, the initial version of the song was first played by producer Hudson Mohawk at a UK club back in 2014, with Tyler acknowledging his involvement on the track shortly after on Twitter, as he contributed to the track's bridge, chords, and drums.
What you doing in the club on a Thursday? She said she only here for a girl birthday. Okay, then understand numbers on Thursday. They order champagne while they look thirsty.
So given Tyler's history with both Bound 1 and 2, and the fact that A Boy Is a Gun has a huge Kanye vibe to it in general, I honestly think it's pretty fitting to refer to the track as Bound 3. Living So Italian. Living So Italian was originally intended to be the 6th track on Watch the Throne, as the leaked tracklist at the time confirmed back in 2011. However, after there were issues getting the main sample cleared, the song was eventually dropped from the project before its release. Following the release of the album, the song obtained a sort of mythical status, as only a select few who attended an exclusive early listening party for the project had ever heard it. And it would maintain this status for 8 whole years, until a low-quality recording from the party was finally leaked in 2019, showcasing the first half of the song. What makes this song so special is its use of an iconic pitched-up vocal sample from Andrea Bocelli, taken from his classic 1997 track, Porti Volare. The instrumental was made by a producer by the name of Carlisle, who detailed his experience making the beat and ultimately landing a placement with Kanye in an interview with The Most Unruly back in 2018.
And yeah, he sent him a pack of beats, and I was so surprised when I found out that the track they ended up using as what would be Living So Italian, they ended up calling it, that he liked that one, but it was in all caps. And I remember when Kanye was blogging too,
everything was in all caps.
Yeah, he always wrote in all caps. And so yeah, I remember it was in all caps, and it was like I fuck with that Italian joint heavy.
What we do, whole family here, feel like a movie, feel like a movie, yeah, feel like a movie, whole family here, feeling like a...
You may recognize the Andrea Bocelli sample on this song from Will Ferrell's iconic rendition of the track during the ending of the movie Step Brothers.
Espera, llegaré, mi fin de trayecto es tú. Boats and hoes. Para vivirlo los.
And given Kanye's love for both Will Ferrell and this movie,
Let's give them something to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about.
That is the voice of an angel. Brendan, I can't even make eye contact with you right now.
Your voice is like a combination of Fergie and Jesus.
First of all, we all know the beats is like a mix between Fergie and Jesus.
Did we just become best friends? Yup. Do you want to go do karate in the garage? Yup.
Take you to the garage and do some karate.
Do you know who I am?
No, I can't say that I do.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Second I walked in, the whole room got still. I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
It's not. It's
Gets
gross.
the people going.
So hard, motherfuckers wanna find me.
I think this was clearly the inspiration behind the sample. A funny thing to note about this track is the fact that it finds Kanye and Jay paying homage to the Italian mob lifestyle. And yet despite this, the sample they use here is actually in Spanish, with Porti Volare being Andrea Bocelli's 1997 Spanish cover of his original 1995 track Con te partirò, which is in Italian.
Con te partirò, paesi.
I like to think that Kanye never realized this and was unknowingly repeating the lines "living so Italian" while recording over the Spanish vocal. Despite the song never officially releasing, it is worth noting that Jay-Z would later go on to reuse parts of his verse on his 2013 track F With Me You Know I Got It off of the Magna Carta Holy Grail.
100 keys at the piano, place across the Verrazano.
Also, I should mention, while Kanye and Jay-Z couldn't clear the sample in time to include the song on Watch the Throne, producer Carlisle did allow Lil B to use the exact same instrumental for his 2010 track, New York Subway. And I mean, at least he got the whole Spanish thing right.
Shouts out to all the Latin community, the whole Latin, Espanol, your boy Lil B. As I receive my gifts, no winter time. Thank God I'm eating, boy, no dinner time. Rap God with the lines like Walmart. Don't need awards, just make sure you give me mine.
One I Love. One I Love is a scrapped demo that was potentially going to be an interlude on Yeezus before Rick Rubin's involvement with the project. The track has since leaked online and has a notable sample of Dedicated to the One I Love by the Mamas and Papas, with Kanye singing over top the sample using a vocoder, kind of like how he sings at the end of Runaway.
Because it's hard for me, my baby, and the darkest hour is just before dawn.
Each night before you go to bed, my baby, whisper a little prayer for me, my baby.
Kanye confused a baby with Lil Baby. On July 22nd of 2020, in a now since deleted series of tweets on Twitter, Kanye appeared to be in a manic state as he made a since infamous tweet. In the tweet, Kanye name drops Lil Baby as his favorite rapper, as he told the world that Lil Baby won't do a song with him despite this being the case. But what was interesting about all this is the fact that Lil Baby immediately responded that day, revealing that he had absolutely no idea that Kanye wanted to collaborate with him. This led some fans to theorize that Kanye may have accidentally mixed up Lil Baby and DaBaby. After all, their names are very similar, and it does seem a little strange that Kanye would publicly say that Lil Baby refused to work with him when he had absolutely no idea he reached out to him. Nonetheless, after Lil Baby contacted Kanye on Twitter, Kanye would fly him out to Wyoming, with Lil Baby confirming that the two of them worked on music while at his Wyoming ranch. In addition, DaBaby and Kanye would eventually work on music together as well, with DaBaby hopping on the Na 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 remix. Perhaps Kanye felt bad for mixing up the two, so he wanted to give both of them an opportunity to work with him.
Let me get them, yeah. They gon' hate on the young nigga anyway. They only call me when they having bills to pay. Ain't nobody ask me how I feel today. I think about it and get in my my feelings, eh?
Swahili. When Kanye was born, his mother Donda looked through a book of African names in order to find the perfect name for her child. According to her memoir Raising Kanye, she eventually stumbled upon the name Kanye in the book, which was an Ethiopian word for the only one. And because she knew Kanye would be her only child, she thought that it was the perfect name for him. Now, what's interesting about this though, is the fact that there are no sources online that I could find that prove that Kanye means the only one in any language. It's a common misconception that Kanye means the only one in Swahili, but Swahili isn't commonly spoken in Ethiopia, and Donda specifically said it was an Ethiopian word. And please don't ask the people of Kenya what it actually means in Swahili. You don't want to know.
Poop-dee, scoop-dee, scoop-dee whoop. Whoopie-dee, scoop whoop.
Michael Jackson inspired 808s and Heartbreak. Michael Jackson has always been one of Kanye's biggest inspirations.
There would be no Kanye West if it wasn't for Michael Jackson.
Something he's made very clear through all the times he's referenced him in his music.
She got a light-skinned friend, look like Michael Jackson. Got a dark-skinned friend, look like Michael Jackson. The thought I was burned up like Pepsi did Michael. That's like that old Michael Jackson shit. She walking around looking like Michael with your money. You would give me anything in this world. Michael Jackson leather and the glove, but didn't get me on curl. And since Michael Jackson made rock with you, I done did shit unlogical. Something wrong, I hold my head. MJ gone, I nigga dead. If you ever held a title belt, you would know how Michael felt. Tyson, Jackson, Jordan, Michael Phelps. The media crucify me like they did Christ. They wanna find me now breathing like they found Mike. You the only rapper compared to Michael. So here's the 21 Grammys, superstar family. We the new Jackson, so I'm about that action. Modern day MJ with an off the wall flow. I can feel the spirits all around me. I think Prince and bikers trying to warn me.
But perhaps the biggest way Kanye honored Michael's legacy was by using a sample of his classic track PYT on his 2007 song Good Life.
And she got the goods, and she got that ass. I got to look sorry. Yo, it's got to be, cause I'm seasoned. Haters give me them salty looks. Loud.
With Kanye actually performing the track live at Coachella in 2011 with a special breakdown of the sample during the intro.
Like we always do with this. I got to shine. Now throw your hands up.
Turns out that when Kanye first met Michael back in 2007, he gave him a special preview of this track, with Kanye revealing that Michael's compliments towards his singing would inspire him to go in a more melodic direction for his next album, 808s and Heartbreak.
And lastly, what about Michael? You talk about Michael all the time. You did a remix for him. Did you ever have an MJ personal encounter?
Yeah, I sat with Michael Jackson. I met him over Leon Cohen's house, and I just vibed out with him. And then, I think Michael the one that put that battery in my back to do 808s. I played Good Life, and he was like, "Who's that singing right there? I like that voice." It was my voice. He gassed me up. Next thing y'all know, y'all had me in the night here. I was like, Michael Jackson told me I could sing. Fuck all y'all, you know.
And Michael's daughter Paris would go on to reveal that Michael ended up loving the album, saying, quote, "The first time I ever heard Kanye's Heartbreak album was from my dad. He played it for me all the time." Kid Cudi humming on Gotta Have It. On the 2011 track Gotta Have It off of Watch the Throne, Kid Cudi is humming throughout the entirety of the song. The humming is smoothly layered into the beat, almost acting like a synthesizer.
And last party we had, they shut down Privé. Ain't that where the heat play? Niggas hate ballers these days.
But it becomes clear that it's in fact Cudi humming towards the end of the track, when the beat momentarily pauses for just a second.
Oh shit, it's just blacks on blacks on blacks, 100 stack. How you get it? Nigga laying raps on tracks. I wish I could give you this feeling. I'm planking on the million.
The Go-Getters. In the mid to late 90s, before Kanye ever made it big as a solo artist, he was a part of a rap group by the name of the Go-Getters, composed of Chicago artists GLC, Timmy G, and Aerostar, and managed by Don C and John Monopoly. Despite making a few radio appearances at the time, and even doing a group photo shoot, the group would never end up releasing an official album. However, their label Conman Productions would actually go on to release an extremely rare compilation type CD to promote the group, called Kanye West Presents Go-Getters World Record Holders, which was composed of tracks the group made during their time together, as well as additional songs Kanye produced for other artists at the time.
Everybody wanna know us, why we world record holders, girls get naked for us, 'cause they heard we the quotas.
Although this CD is almost impossible to find now physically, someone with an original copy would end up rounding up all the Go-Getter tracks and releasing an unofficial project in 2010 that you can now find online. Yeezer. Yeezer is a mashup album that was released back in 2015, featuring classic Kanye verses over some classic Weezer tracks. The album was uploaded to SoundCloud in 2015 by a user by the name of Chucky Nugget, with the project receiving some attention after Weezer themselves gave it a cosign and shared it on Twitter. And Chucky Nugget has since uploaded a remastered version of the album in 2020 on his YouTube channel, cleaning up the mix and adding a bonus track.
Who killing them in the UK? Everybody gonna say UK. Reluctantly, cause most of this press don't fuck with me. Estelle once said, tell me cool down, down. Don't act a fool now. Always act a fool, ow, ow. Ain't nothing new now.
Weezer album. Back in 2018, the year Kanye famously released 5 7-track albums in the span of 5 weeks, Rivers Cuomo of Weezer expressed interest in a 7-track Weezer album produced by Kanye. Selfie Dad. After seeing the trailer for the 2020 Christian film Selfie Dad, Kanye reached out to the producers and gave them permission to use his song Use This Gospel during the film.
Just a few months later, Kanye West shows up at our church.
What?
And after visiting about the 3rd time to our church, Kanye hung out after the service to talk to me. And so after we shot the movie, after Kanye showed up, we had a trailer, and I'm thinking, we've got to show this trailer to Kanye West. We asked him if he might be interested in being part of the movie, or even allowing us to use one of the songs out of his incredible album, Jesus is King. And he said, yes, absolutely.
Dame Dash donned a film. In January of 2021, a documentary made by Dame Dash leaked on Vimeo. The documentary covers his time spent in Wyoming as Kanye was working on his album Donda, and although it did feature several snippets of songs that may be released on this upcoming album, after watching the film, people heavily criticized Dame on Reddit for focusing more on himself rather than showcasing what Kanye was actually working on in Wyoming. During the documentary, he even makes a puzzling comparison, as he compares Kanye's struggle with bipolar disorder to his struggle with diabetes.
I see me and him. I feel like, I'm responsible for this. And, I'm diabetic. He's bipolar.
Also, something notable that occurs during the film is a clip of Kanye angrily yelling at Chance the Rapper. Through the context of when the recording took place, it seems that Chance flew to Wyoming to check on Kanye after he was worried about his mental state. This was shortly after Kanye's presidential rally and his infamous Twitter rant, so Chance flew to Wyoming as a friend to make sure Ye was doing alright, as he later confirmed on Twitter. However, Kanye is clearly frustrated with Chance in this clip, as he tells him to sit his ass down and listen to the album. Fall Out Boy remix. Back in 2007, Kanye recorded a verse for a remix of Fall Out Boy's track, This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arms Race. This verse is especially notable as it makes a very strong case for Kanye's worst verse ever.
One thing I gotta call out, boy. Take a look at Fall Out Boy. Since they ain't black, when they get money, they don't ball out, boy. They just buy tight jeans till they nuts hang all out, boy. They figure, yeah, he dress tight, so we gon' dress tighter. He dress white, so we gon' dress whiter. So in spider, anything you might have seen or heard, this scene occurred. Word,
All Day, I Feel Like That music video. Back in March of 2015, Kanye premiered a brand new music video during Paris Fashion Week, captured by the select few who were lucky enough to attend the event in person. The video was notably directed by the award-winning director Steve McQueen, the man behind 12 Years a Slave. And Kanye would also go on to showcase it later that year at an exhibit at the Los Angeles County Museum of Art. However, the video was never seen by the wider public after this art exhibit, until eventually it leaked online the following year in February of 2016. The video was shot all in one take, as Kanye is shown by himself in an empty warehouse performing the So Help Me God era tracks All Day and I Feel Like That. All Day, of course, wasn't anything new, as it had previously been released in 2015. However, the inclusion of the track I Feel Like That would give us a brand new Kanye track, which is one of his most vulnerable and emotional songs he's ever recorded. Kanye predicted Among Us. Among Us is an online multiplayer game that revolves around players trying to identify an imposter among a larger group of normal players. Back in 2005, on skit number 4 off of Kanye's sophomore album Late Registration, the narration weirdly fits the theme of this game exactly.
I've called this private meeting today because there is a imposter among us. There's an imposter among us.
Like this could have been included in the trailer for the game and no one would have questioned it.
I've called this private meeting today because there is a imposter among us. There's an imposter among us. There is a imposter among us. There's an imposter among us.
Midas Touch. Midas Touch is the name of a reference track from Kanye that leaked back in 2015. The song is named after producer Keon Christ, who formerly went by Midas. Kanye actually recorded this song as a reference track to send to Rihanna, which makes his verses here absolutely hilarious, as he does his best Rihanna impression.
I heard you fuck that nigga, well I fuck that nigga too, and they probably didn't tell you that's what sucker niggas doing. If you had a test of me, it would've never fuck with you, cause that new Rihanna in the front, bitches in the back, they don't like me though. Why?
The song was actually initially played backstage at the Glastonbury Festival after Can You Be, with rumors speculating that it was a different non-reference track version that Kanye intended to release on So Help Me God, due to the track having an alternative opening line. It's also worth noting that J. Cole recorded his own version of the track, also merely a reference to send to Rihanna.
That new Rihanna shit bump. Bitches in the back don't like me though. Why? I don't know, they wanna be just like me though. Why?
Unfortunately though, Rihanna would never end up releasing her own version of the song. However, it is worth noting that she would end up releasing her track Bitch Better Have My Money in 2015, which Kanye helped write and produce.
Bitch better have my money. Y'all should know me well enough. Bitch better have my money. Please don't call me on my blood. Pay me what you want it.
David Lynch music video. Legendary film director David Lynch is actually a big fan of Kanye, and during a 2014 interview with the Daily Beast, he even revealed that he nearly directed a music video for Kanye's 2013 track, Blood on the Leaves.
Now I'm holding down the summer now, and all I want is what I can't buy now, cause I ain't got the money on me right now, and I told you to wait, yeah I told you to wait.
Quote, Blood on the Leaves is one of my favorite songs. It's great. He's just riding the wave and not taking no for an answer. We almost worked together, but I never got the ideas. I feel like I let him down a little bit. I was going to do the music video for Blood on the Leaves, but it never happened. I didn't come up with any ideas that I thought he would like. Welcome to UCLA. Welcome to UCLA is the name of an unreleased song that Kanye recorded back in 2016, after his hospitalization at the UCLA Medical Center that year. As we talked about in part 1, Kanye was hospitalized after his mental breakdown at his St. Pablo tour that year.
But Saturday night in Sacramento was maybe the first hint all is really not well. Kicking off his gig 90 minutes late, then more venting than singing.
It's a new world, Hillary Clinton. It's a new world.
This track was reportedly worked on for his scrapped album TurboGrafx 16, which makes sense because the main sample on the song appears to be either from a video game or an old arcade game.
I'm going crazy, baby, I'm going crazy, I'm going UCLA.
As you can tell, the track is extremely unfinished and appears to be just the initial demo. During the song, Kanye kind of playfully makes fun of the idea that he was going crazy and points to the fact that they were trying to over-medicate him while he was at the hospital, something he also talked about while at the TMZ headquarters back in 2018.
2 days later, I'm in the hospital. I was taking 2 pills a day at that time. When I left the hospital, how many pills you think I was given? 7. I went from taking 2 pills to taking 7. So the reason why I denounced, why I dropped those tweets and everything, because I was drugged the fuck out, bro. And I'm not drugged out. These pills that they want me to take 3 of a day, I take 1 a week, maybe 2 a week. Y'all had me scared of myself, of my vision. So I took some pills so I wouldn't go to the hospital and prove everyone right.
Take your meds, yay. 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 Go to bed, yay. Go to bed, yay. Get out of your head, yay. Get out of your head, yay. Did you hear what I said, yay? I didn't say that.
Paul McCartney came up with the melody for All Day back in 1970. It's August 28th of 1969, just 10 days after the final recording session for the Beatles. Ready to begin a new chapter in his life, Paul finds himself in a hospital room awaiting the arrival of his first child, Mary, with his wife, Linda.
I tell you, once I remember when Linda and I had just had our first baby, which was Mary, and we already had Heather, but our first baby together was Mary. And Mary was born, and I was at the hospital basically the whole week, you know, just while Linda recovered and took it easy, and we like the chips in this place too.
On the wall of the hospital, Paul spots a striking painting by none other than Pablo Picasso.
So we were sitting around all week and just enjoying just having had this lovely baby. And there was this Picasso print on the wall of an old man playing a guitar.
The painting depicts an old man hunched over playing a guitar. And after a full week of looking at the painting every day while Linda recovered, Paul became inspired by its depiction. He noticed that the man was playing a chord on the guitar with only 2 fingers, so he figured he would try to find the exact chord he was playing just to see what it sounded like.
And I looked at it all week, and towards the end of the week I thought, what chord's he playing? You know, I'm a guitar player, what is he playing? And I noticed he just had 2 fingers here. You get that chord there, guys? Just 2 fingers there. And so I thought, well, I'll try and see, you know, what the chord is and if it sounds any good. So ooh, that's nice, you know.
After playing the chord, Paul thought it sounded nice, so he wanted to make a song using its structure, and challenged himself to use only 2 fingers throughout.
I used that as the inspiration and tried to write a song that only had used 2 fingers.
The following year in 1970, during the sessions for his second album, Ram, Paul would go on to use the chord to create his song When the Wind is Blowing. However, the song wouldn't quite make the final cut for Ram, and it would remain unreleased for 48 years, until it was finally released in 2018 as a bonus track on the remaster of Wildlife. During the song, the melody that Paul came up with on that day in 1970 is the exact melody he would end up giving to Kanye 44 years later for his track All Day. Let's take a listen to it and see if you can recognize the tune. On a BBC's Master Tape special, Paul revealed that he gave Kanye the melody for the track after telling him the story of how it came to be, and simply whistling it to him during a studio session.
And I was telling him about this time when my daughter Mary was born. And so a lot of what we did was just telling each other stories. I started to try and write something just using 2 fingers all the time. So, and then I whistled the melody, which is what I did for Kanye. 2 fingers. 2 fingers. Fingers. Anyway, it goes all the way through it and in 2 fingers all the time.
Paul didn't think Kanye thought much of the experience.
And I was telling that to Kanye, and he went, "Oh yeah, great man," you know. Didn't appear to really notice.
That is, until weeks later, when he was sent a track back using the exact same melody, only it was epically transformed and modernized through its use of layered vocals and guitar.
And then after Christmas, I get this track back, and it's like, "Dun, dun."
All day, nigga. All day, nigga.
Paul would go on to contribute an interlude on the track, whistling the melody over that same 2-finger guitar chord he discovered all the way back in 1969, only slightly sped up to match the tempo of the track. And after this interlude, he even provides vocals during the explosive outro on the song. McCartney also collaborated with Kanye on 2 other songs that would be released during this time, Only One and 4 5 Seconds. 4 5 Seconds with Rihanna became a huge hit, with Paul playing guitar on the track and contributing pitched up background vocals during the second verse.
I'm trying to make it right home by Monday morning. I swear I wish somebody would tell me, oh, that's all I want.
In the middle of the record, if you listen to it, there's a little voice goes, "I'm out of mystery."
Then I heard you was talking trash.
That's me.
And Only One is an emotionally charged song that is criminally underrated to this day. During the song, Kanye writes from the perspective of his late mother Donda, who passed away in 2007, getting the inspiration to write the song after Paul had told him about the story behind the Beatles classic Let It Be, when his mother famously came to him in a dream with advice. During the hook on Only One, Donda gives Kanye similar advice, as Kanye reported that she sang through him on the track, offering guidance to him and his newborn daughter.
And in the dream, she sort of came to me and said, "It's going to be all right. It's going to be good. Just take it easy. Just let it be." And I remember waking up and going, "Let it be. Yeah, wow." I was so inspired by that I wrote the song, you know, and I told Kanye that. He said, "Oh," because he'd lost his mother. So then he wrote a song called Only One when I was just noodling around on the little electric piano that I had in the room. And I started playing some chords, and he started, "Yeah, oh."
My only one, just like the morning sun. You keep on rising till the sky knows your name. Hello, my only one. Remember who you are. No, you're not perfect, but you're not your mistakes.
Besides these 3 collaborations, there are reportedly other tracks that Paul and Kanye worked on back in 2014. Among them, even rumored to be a different version of Piss on Your Grave, a menacing track that Kanye would eventually give to Travis Scott for his 2015 album Rodeo, without any feature from Paul.
Piss in your grave, piss in your grave. Turn this up, teacher, play this in the 3rd grade. In the 3rd grade, can't have from the truth that we about to go away. We about to go away. The streets is not safe. These niggas ain't playing. These niggas ain't playing. These niggas ain't playing.
With rumors speculating that Kanye gave him the track in exchange for the song FML, as the original demo of that song has Travis Scott singing the chorus instead of The Weeknd, and is thought to have initially been a Travis Scott track intended for Rodeo, before eventually being traded to Kanye for Piss on Your Grave.
Wish I would go ahead and fuck my life up. Can't let them get to me. And even though I always fuck my life up, only I can mention it. Wish I would let a hater fuck my life up. Can't let them get to me. Saturday night I just might have to pipe up. You gon' have to get used to me.
Hannibal Buress diss track. Back in 2010, comedian Hannibal Buress was still working as a writer on SNL, and in response to Kanye's diss to the entire SNL cast on his track Power, Hannibal reportedly wrote a diss track towards Kanye, which he said was, quote, really mean. However, Hannibal said that it didn't come from a place of true Kanye hatred, which ultimately led him to not release it. Uncensored School Spirit. On Kanye's 2004 debut album, The College Dropout, every single song on the album contains profanity. That is, except for one track, as the song School Spirit was strangely censored throughout, even on the normal explicit version of the project.
School spirit, for them. I'ma get on this TV, mama. I'ma put this down. I'ma make sure these light-skinned niggas never come back in style.
The track contains a prominent pitched-up vocal sample from Aretha Franklin's 1970 track, Spirit in the Dark.
People moving, oh, we're grooving, just getting the spirit in the dark.
AKA Step, Delta Step, SG Roll Step, Zeta Step, Gangsters Walk, Pimps gon' talk, ooh, hecky no, that boy is raw.
And when Kanye reached out to Aretha for permission to use the sample, she agreed, but only under one condition. The song couldn't contain any curse words.
No more saying cuss words.
So Kanye was forced to either scrap the song altogether or just release an edited version of the track on the project, ultimately choosing the latter. However, an early version of the album that was given to Entertainment Weekly has since leaked online, so we can now hear the original uncensored version.
School spirit, motherfucker. I'ma get on this TV, mama. I'ma put shit down. I'ma make sure these light-skinned niggas never come back in style.
Kanye Quest 3030 Cult. Kanye Quest 3030 is a role-playing video game that was released in July of 2013. The game revolves around the idea that Kanye has fallen into a portal taking him to the year 3030, where he is met with a dystopian society filled with clones of various rappers, all of which are ruled by rapper Lil B. The game follows Kanye's quest to overthrow Lil B and declare himself as the one true God. On the surface level, it just seems like an innocent and playful game, and for 2 years, that's all it was. I mean, Video Game Donkey even did a playthrough of it back in the day.
This is for Are We There Yet? Yeah, Tupac, shoot him. Hit him with the wins though. This is for Barbershop 2, bitch. Ooh, this is ass. This is for Are We Done Yet? Yeah, get his ass. Boom, this is for Triple X, State of the Union.
However, a strange discovery in 2015 revealed that the game was hiding an interesting secret, and may even be directly connected to a cult. I don't have time to explain the whole thing in full, so I recommend you go check out this 30-minute video by Nexpo that covers it all. To summarize though, in 2015, a Pastebin article was published online that revealed that typing the word ascend into a certain console during the game would bring you to a secret area previously never before seen. And in this secrets section, text appeared explaining that you had now entered the real portion of the game, and that the rest of the game was really just one big front to hide this section. I won't get into exactly how you progress beyond this point, but eventually it leads you to a screen where the game asks you to enter in your address and other personal information, before instructing you to wait 2 weeks for further contact. Given the prominent themes of ascension in the game, people theorized that the game was a front in order for members of the rising Ascensionism cult to recruit new members, a cult that believes in the idea of reincarnation. However, the users who actually took the risk and entered in their personal information were never actually contacted. So it remains a mystery if the game was actually connected to this cult or if it was just one big joke from the developers. The real reason Kanye crashed the VMAs. In a 2020 interview with Nick Cannon, Kanye revealed that he believes God intended for him to interrupt Taylor Swift at the VMAs back in 2009.
If God didn't want me to run on stage and say Beyonce had the best video, he would have sat me in the front row. I would have been sitting in the back. They wouldn't have made it the first award. And wouldn't have made it so ridiculous of an idea, because I had never heard of this person before. And this Single Ladies is like one of the greatest videos of all time.
So you spoke your mind, you spoke your truth.
I spoke, and I was only drinking Hennessy.
I was about to say, you had a bottle of Hennessy.
Because I didn't want to go to the award show because it was a setup.
Right.
The Death of Pablo. The Death of Pablo is a remix album of Kanye's 2016 project, The Life of Pablo. The album was uploaded to Bandcamp in 2017, with the description calling it, quote, a destroyed and reassembled remix of Kanye's The Life of Pablo. The project was made by a group of 12 musicians coming together as the Pablo Collective, and what they created is a horrifyingly creepy rendition of this album. Just take a listen to Father Stretch My Hands Part 3. (1999) Eminem collab. Kanye produced a beat that Eminem would rap over all the way back in 1999, 2 years before he would ever gain recognition in the mainstream. The track is called Stir Crazy, and it was released on the Mad Rapper's 1999 album, Tell 'Em Why You Mad.
I'm crazy with this razor. With this razor, I'm crazy. With this razor, I'm crazy. Razor crazy, I'm crazy. Okay, we know this. So bring Jay-Z. Ghost rifle on Dre's big.
Things. We don't give a fuck, son. We crazy. Tear up the clubs and do drugs. We crazy. Fuck wild hoes and bust slugs. We crazy. Mad Rapper is crazy. Slim Shady is crazy. Life stinks.
You may know of the Mad Rapper for his appearances on 3 classic Bad Boy Records albums from the 90s, as he appeared on the intro to Biggie's track Kick in the Door on Life After Death, at the end of Diddy's track Been Around the World on No Way Out, as well as on a skit off of Mace's album Harlem World, as he was a character that represented this angry hater who was jealous of the monumental success of Bad Boy Records.
Welcome back. We're here on Bad Boy Television, and I'm Trevin Jones, and I've been conversing with the Mad Rapper, and quite frankly, he's very mad.
Yeah, I done made, this is my 4th album, yo. This is my 4th album. I ain't made a dime yet. This nigga made 1 album, he making wild records. That yo, you know what I'm saying? They got mermaids swimming in their living rooms and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? This nigga dancing in the rain with kids climbing up mountains and shit. Yo, what you mean they be doing this thing? I know they be doing their what? I don't be doing my thing. Milli Vanilli did they thing. New Kids on the Block, RuPaul, all the and everybody else did they thing. That you ain't do no tracks on them. What happened to my shit? You give them my shit?
The Mad Rapper character was actually played by a producer by the name of Derek Angeletti, who more commonly went by D-Dot. D-Dot was influential in the 90s, producing for artists on Bad Boy Records like Biggie, Diddy, Faith Evans, and Mace. And in addition, he was also once a mentor for a young Kanye West. Kanye is rumored to have done ghost production for D-Dot in the 90s, as in production without credit, something he references on his track The Last Call on The College Dropout.
I was messing with D-Dot also. People like this talk about the ghost production, but that's how I got in the game. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here.
However, D-Dot has since denied this many times, and I do believe this track Kanye did with D-Dot and Eminem was credited at the time.
Now, what's your opinion on the whole ghost writer, ghost producer thing?
Kanye, for me, was never a ghost. His name, ghost means not seen, at least for what I'm concerned, how I'm concerned. People say the word ghost, you think something that can't be seen. Kanye was not only seen, he was heard. He got all his publishing credits, he got all his, proper production credits. When he talks about Stir Crazy, which he produced, he gave me the beat and the next day he heard the record. Okay. Had nothing to do with the creation of the record. He created the beat. That's it. That's not producing, that's beat making. That's right. So I produced that record. So he understands the art of producing because since then, he's taken some of his crew's beats and he's produced them. And all they did was do the beat.
During the official version of Stir Crazy on D-Dot's, or the Mad Rapper's album, Kanye doesn't have any vocals on the track. However, during an alternative promotional version off of Kanye's 1999 compilation CD, Kanye West Presents Go-Getters, World Record Holders, Kanye appears on the intro and briefly tells the story of how he made the beat, and Eminem turns back his verse in just 2 days.
You wanna know about a beat getting turned over quick as hell? Picture this. I put the record, the needle to the record, sample that shit, did the beat in about 15 minutes, sent it to Doc the same day. He picked that shit same day. 2 days later, this is Jim Kniff. You know who we got to come in and spit on this shit? Eminem.
Alligator Boots. Alligator Boots is the name of Kanye's failed TV show from 2007, a show that is packed with an intriguing and interesting history.
Excuse me, sir, what's those shoes? Baby, you know these alligator boots. Hey. Now let's start the show. Let's start the show.
The idea for the show came to be during the recording sessions for Graduation, when rapper Rhymefest started acting in the studio as a character by the name of Pork Troy, a rapping pig puppet.
So we at the Jim Henson Studios, and we're working on a concept that Rhymefest thought of.
Created a show called Pork Troy. Pork Troy, he a famous rapper, but everybody else is human. Don't nobody know he a pig except for like smart people. And like his whole thing is like, like, so it's like, you gonna get a job today, Troy? You gonna pay your child support, Troy?
Kanye, who was captivated by this character, suggested that they do something with it, as he would eventually go to Jimmy Kimmel to pitch the idea of a TV show revolving around the character.
We wanted to do a cartoon. I told him it should be a puppet show.
We both knew Jimmy Kimmel, performed on Jimmy Kimmel's show. We went to Jimmy Kimmel's people.
Kimmel, who was one part of Jackhole Productions at the time, already had experience making Muppet-style shows, as he was involved with the puppet show Crank Yankers, a show that was loved by much of the hip-hop community and would often feature cameos from rappers like Snoop Dogg, Eminem, and Lil Jon.
Jackhole Industries, which is Jimmy Kimmel, Daniel Kellison, and Adam Carolla.
We done a show called Crank Yankers, which they liked, and actually a lot of hip-hop guys liked it. We'd had Snoop Dogg and Eminem, Lil Jon, a bunch of people come and do the show. But Kanye and Rhymefest wanted to do their own show, which is sort of how this one was born.
Kimmel, along with Daniel Kellison, the co-creator of Crank Yankers, liked Kanye's idea for the show and began working on its whole premise.
We all developed the idea more, and then we came up with Alligator Boots.
Alligator Boots is, in one sentence, sort of a hip-hop Muppet show.
Behind the scenes of a variety show that doesn't really exist.
It's kind of like the format of the old school Muppet Show, where we've got a guest host who's a human.
They get a celebrity guest every week.
And he's interacting with the puppet characters. But then there's also the component of Saturday Night Live.
Like a comedy show.
Where there's an audience. So some of what we're seeing is like sketches.
Ain't that a bitch?
Fake commercials, really funny videos.
The other half is behind the scenes. What's happening back in the dressing rooms and backstage.
Eventually, the show would be picked up by Comedy Central, who gave them a $1 million budget to film the pilot.
And now we're doing the pilot.
One of the standout sketches from the pilot came from a young writer by the name of Jordan Peele, now of course of Get Out and Us fame, who wrote a parody of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech.
Who did Coretta Scott?
Last night I had another dream, and all the little black children and all the little white children all become giant black and white slugs who try to take over the earth.
You did such a good job with her because you made her look like her eyes were moving.
However, it was Kanye's contributions to the show that proved to be most notable. Kanye was to be involved in a Star Wars-based sketch where he played a stormtrooper alongside an actress playing Princess Leia. However, after director Tom Stern wrote the part for a certain actress, Kanye insisted that they get someone else to play the part, someone specific he had in mind. Who was it? None other than Kim Kardashian, who Kanye became very fond of ever since watching a certain film she starred in that year. Quote, "We initially wrote it for, I don't want to say Paris Hilton, but somebody else. We were talking about it, and Kanye was like, nah. Get Kim Kardashian."
So we got Kim Kardashian as one of our guests in the show.
I'm really Kim Kardashian, but I'm supposed to be Princess Leia today.
I see her walking around in the costume. Yeah. I hope she never takes it off.
Where's Princess Leia from? Alderaan. I hope she just
Her and Barry White have a very interesting conversation.
You could try out a couple of your lines on Kim.
If you say so, it would be my pleasure. Let me lay it down on my silky sheets. And then come in close behind you. Oh, yeah. Then I'll show you my desire. And put my penis inside your vagina.
Excuse me?
You know what I mean.
Hold on, wait a second.
So it's sort of like a double disc for you. Kim comes back and she's like, yo.
I have to cancel our plans.
What? Why?
I can't do anything tonight. You remember that bear?
You know that bear? The one that wants to put his penis in my vagina?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go let that. You're there all by yourself. And then you'll walk off with Barry White.
Yay, thanks for the pointers. Come on, baby.
It's nothing new for me. I play with puppets at home all the time.
Why did he want Kim to play the part so badly? Well, I'll let him explain.
Kanye wants to do this big sci-fi musical thing where he has on a stormtrooper suit.
And then I want to have like Kim Kardashian play Princess Leia because Kim Kardashian's ass is just perfect.
This would actually become the very first time Kim and Kanye really connected together.
I can't really leave. I'm gonna have to watch you have sex with her instead.
Yo, get out of here, Barry!
As they had previously only briefly met in a studio session with Brandy 5 years before. Ray J's sister.
Ray J's sister.
When Kim was working as Brandy's personal shopper and stylist, and Kanye was recording their track, Talk About Our Love.
I met him, I think in 2002 or 2003. He was recording a song with Brandy, and I was her friend, and vividly remember, hanging out with him, and then they did a video together, so I'd see him like a few times, and I remember he was asking his friends, like, who is this Kim Kardashian? And he didn't know what my name was, and it was really cute.
Kardashian's nice. Yeah, let's change our name, guys.
But anyways, back to Alligator Boots. Something else notable about this show is the fact that its theme song appears to be an early alternative version of Flashing Lights. During this version from the show, the main synth line is slightly different, and whereas the final version on Graduation features vocals from Kanye, Dwele, and Connie Mitchell, this version also features vocals from Jeezy, who contributed some ad-libs on the track.
Come on, everybody, this the place to go. Now let the lights, cameras, and action roll.
Now let's go. This something that your eyes never seen before. Excuse me, sir. What's those shoes? Baby, you know these alligator boots. Hey. Now let's start the show. Let's start the show.
And producer Daniel Kellison has since recalled in an interview that he actually first met Kanye during the recording sessions for this track, sharing a hilarious yet historic piece of history. Quote, "When I first met Kanye, he was recording that song Flashing Lights. I walked into the studio and he was behind the control board, and this woman was singing one of the sections of the song. She goes, 'How about that take?' And he was like, 'I'm sorry, I missed it. Can you do it again?' He was watching the Kim Kardashian tape on his computer. It had come out that day, and that's why he was distracted." Unfortunately, Alligator Boots would end up getting dropped by Comedy Central in 2007, with the pilot never even airing, and all that's left of the show now is the behind-the-scenes footage which I've been playing throughout this section. However, Kim and Kanye would of course end up getting married 7 years after filming the show, and have since had 4 children together, so at least it did lead to something. Kanye on X videos? In a 2021 post on the Reddit forum r/westsubever, a user revealed that they had spotted Kanye during a video they were watching on X videos. The video shows Kanye watching girls twerk at an apparent street party, as he appears to be recording them on his flip phone. It's also worth noting that rappers Scarface and Lil Flip were also at this party. He considered becoming what? Back in 2007, in an interview with The Sun, Kanye revealed that before he ever pursued music professionally, he once considered becoming a porn star, saying, quote, "That career choice popped into my head once or twice. Which guy doesn't want that? Just sometimes in their life." Giant penis Mario game. In a 2009 interview with Details magazine, Kanye revealed that he got his start as an artist, producing beats for the soundtracks of the video games that he was working on in middle school. During the interview, he recalled that the first game he made in 7th grade was, well, very sexual, and revolved around a giant penis as the main character. Quote, "It was like Mario Brothers, but the ghosts were like vaginas. Mind you, I'm 12 years old, and this is stuff 30-year-olds are programming. You'd have to draw in and program every little step. It literally took me all night to do a step, cause the penis, you know, had little feet and eyes." Love on White Ferrari. The beautiful track White Ferrari off of Frank Ocean's critically acclaimed album Blonde was co-written by Kanye, as was revealed after fans got a hold on the limited edition Black Friday vinyl, which came with the full album credits. But not only did Kanye co-write this track, it also seems he must have been present for its recording, as you can hear him sing the words love 2 minutes and 51 seconds into the song. However, it remains unknown if Kanye ever recorded his own verse for the track. But given that Frank has said in an interview that he recorded up to 50 different versions of the track, I bet there's one out there with a verse from Kanye. And in the limited edition Boys Don't Cry magazine, there's even an additional verse written in the magazine pages, which some fans have speculated belongs to Kanye, given the nature of the lyrics and the writing style. It's not confirmed by any means that this belongs to Kanye, but I'll read it to you and I'll let you be the judge. Like a mirage, always one step ahead where we belong. I've got a son somewhere, he'll be picking up where I left off. I might name that boy Ferrari. He'll meet a girl named Altashonda. He'll treat her soft like Alcantara. My brain is soft like Alcantara. My hands are rough, I'm iguana. Your hair is long, are you Nicaraguan? I can't go soft, I'm Viagran. You want it all, you're always one step ahead where you belong. CSGO Flashbang sample on Ultralight Beam. On Kanye's 2016 track Ultralight Beam off of The Life of Pablo, there is an extremely odd sample from the popular shooter CSGO. At around the 150 mark, you can hear an extremely faint voice in the background yelling, "Flashbang." It's very faint, but with headphones, you can clearly hear it.
Flashbang. Somewhere I can feel safe, and in my holy war.
It remains unknown how this sample ended up on the track. Flashing Lights 2 became a K-pop track. During the sessions for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Kanye worked on what appeared to be a sequel to his 2007 hit Flashing Lights.
Flashing lights, what do I know? Flashing lights.
In this rare studio footage, watch as Kanye and Charlie Wilson are shown dancing to the track dressed in suits, which, as we talked about in part 1, was the mandatory attire for the album's studio sessions.
Yes, man.
That's
hard. Ooh, that's another smoker.
Yes.
You're such a
That's what it is. He's talking about, yes, that's what it is.
I got it. You get the soul.
I got it right
You
now.
get the notes. Hey, everybody, tonight's the night. I've been waiting for my whole life. Who would've known what it was like?
Those flashing lights. Oh, that's gonna be hot.
Hey, everybody, tonight's the night. I've been waiting for my whole life. Who would've known what it was like? Running from the flashing light. Hey, everybody, tonight's the night. I've been waiting for my whole life. Who would've known what it was like? Running from this flashing light.
And Kanye would actually go on to preview this version of Flashing Lights during a few live performances in 2010, singing the modified chorus at the end of the regular track.
Hey everybody, tonight's the night. I've been waiting for my whole life. What it was like running from those flashing lights, like you want me, my.
Unfortunately though, Kanye never ended up releasing this sequel to Flashing Lights, and not much is known about what actually happened to the track. In the past, it has been thought that Kanye ended up selling the beat to a K-pop group by the name of JYJ, who would later go on to use it for their 2010 track, Hey Girl.
Flashing lights, have to tune. of your life. Living it up for tonight. Yes, you're living it up for tonight. Hey girl, try to make you my baby. Instead you make me go crazy. Just run through me. What have you done to me?
And I admit, I initially believed that this is what had happened, as the track features a notable reference to flashing lights, and even features a guest verse from Kanye, what I thought was a demo verse that would have ended up on the sequel to Flashing Lights.
Baller come around, she gon' smile for the change. I know what type, I know the life. I know you're living your life for the night, another night. As a city, what they got for us? I mean, it wouldn't even be poppin' if it's not for us. Is it?
However, after editing this video, I realized that the instrumental for this JYJ track is actually from the alternative version of the original Flashing Lights, recorded during the 2007 sessions for Graduation. You know, the one that was featured as the theme song on Alligator Boots. How did I figure this out? Well, the instrumentals of the two songs actually match exactly, with the exact same synth line at the same BPM and everything. Unlike the synth line on Flashing Lights 2, which is slightly different and noticeably faster.
Excuse me, sir, what's those shoes? Baby, you know these alligator boots. Now let's start the show. Flashing lights at the time of your life. Living it up for tonight. Yes, you're living it up for tonight. Hey.
But even further proof was the addition of that signature Jeezy ad-lib that we heard earlier in the video on that version from Alligator Boots. An ad-lib that this JYJ track is essentially built around, given the title of the track, A Girl, and the prominent use of the ad-lib throughout the track.
Baby, you know these alligator boots.
So if the beat on this JYJ track is actually the alternative version of the original Flashing Lights featured as the theme song on Alligator Boots, then what happened to Flashing Lights 2? Well, I don't know. Maybe in an alternate universe, Kanye releases his sequel to Flashing Lights during the Good Friday promo tracks leading up to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. However, in this reality, we were left empty-handed. Nonetheless, something else that did actually come from the sessions of this track was the future use of the drum pattern that was featured on the song, as it would eventually end up being used for Drake's 2010 hit, Find Your Love, which Kanye helped write and produce. Take a close listen to the drum pattern behind the main synth line, and you'll see it matches exactly.
I'm more than just an option. Hey, hey, hey. Refuse to be forgotten.
Rihanna, Find Your Love. In a 2010 interview with Complex, producer No ID revealed that Drake's track Find Your Love was actually originally meant for Rihanna. Kanye helped write and produce the song with Rihanna in mind, but after Drake heard Rihanna's version of the track in a studio session, he insisted that he have the track for himself. Drake would end up recording his own version of the song and releasing it as a single in 2010, with the track becoming one of his early hits, peaking at number 15 on the Billboard charts. And shortly after its release, in an interview with MTV, Drake even admitted that the song was a risk for him to release, saying, quote, "It almost feels like the song should be performed by a woman. Every time I hear the track now, I can't help but picture Rihanna singing the chorus."
I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find, give all my love. Then nothing's gonna tear us apart.
We Are Young on Watch the Throne. The 2013 track We Are Young by the band Fun is a career-defining anthem, with the song spending 6 straight weeks at the #1 spot on the Billboard charts, and even earning the group a Grammy for Song of the Year.
And the Grammy goes to... We Are Young.
what you might not know about this track is the fact that the instrumental was originally intended to be featured on Kanye and Jay-Z's Watch the Throne, as the leaked track list pointed to at the time. In a 2013 interview with MTV News, producer Jeff Bhasker revealed that the instrumental was merely an inch away from being included on the album, with Kanye and Jay-Z ultimately deciding to leave it off after they felt the track didn't fit the vibe of the rest of the project. And after the song didn't make the cut, Bhasker would eventually wind up playing it for Fun's lead singer Nate Ruess. And well, the rest is history. Quote, "I was working with them on Watch the Throne when I met Nate Ruess, and I said, maybe you guys want to mess with this, and Ruess really liked it a lot. In the end, it didn't quite fit on Throne because it's a big pop song on an album they wanted to have an undergroundness and counterculture sensibility." Before this final section begins, I just want to give everyone a heads up that I'm going to be talking about suicide during this section, so if anyone is sensitive to that topic, viewer discretion is advised. And I also just want to say that if anyone watching is ever struggling with suicidal thoughts themselves, that you are not alone, and that help is always available. Never See Me Again. Never See Me Again is an unreleased Kanye song that leaked back in 2010, a month before the release of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. The unfinished demo for the track was said to have been made shortly after the VMA incident with Taylor Swift back in 2009, when Kanye was reportedly very depressed, as he found himself being portrayed as a villain everywhere in the eyes of the public, and even moved to Japan for a month to get away from all the negative media attention.
Yeah, it's a pretty bugged out story. I literally left America. I stopped doing music altogether. I just took some time. I went to Japan just so I can get away from paparazzi altogether.
According to rumors, and I mean strictly rumors, Kanye intended for this track to be the final song on his last album ever, before retiring from music altogether, or according to some, before committing suicide. Although the song is clearly very unfinished, the entire track is a very eerie listen, as many have noted that the lyrics almost seem to be the rough draft to a sort of audio suicide note, as Kanye spends 9 minutes expressing his raw thoughts over atop a looping piano sample, telling us during the chorus that it will be a long time before we'll ever see him again.
Don't worry about me, just worry about you. And I'll be unknown what I've been up to. And it'll be a long time before you ever see me again.
But the connections to a potential planned suicide go even deeper than that, as many have pointed out that the song's instrumental either samples or is directly inspired by Futare Dake no Ceremony by Yukiko Okada, a Japanese artist from the 80s that Kanye could have taken inspiration from while listening to her music during his retreat in Japan. After rising to stardom in Japan in the 80s, Okada would tragically commit suicide by jumping off of a 7-story building, just 18 years old at the time. According to the theory, Kanye planned to go out the same way Okada did, which explains why he references jumping out a window to his death on the song Power. And given that Kanye admitted to being suicidal around this time, during a 2010 screening for his movie Runaway, it makes this theory even more disturbing. Furthermore, during the end of the verse leading up to this reference of the window jump on Power, listen as the words "so exciting" start to slowly fade away until they eventually begin to sound like suicide.
I got the power, make your life so exciting.
Jumping out the window, letting everything go, letting everything go.
This would be a beautiful death.
Jumping out the window, letting everything
the evidence that Kanye was contemplating suicide by jumping during this time doesn't even stop there, as he also references Donny Hathaway on the official remix to Power, a legendary soul singer from the 70s who also tragically took his own life by jumping from the window of his hotel room. His reference to Hathaway here is in a completely different context, but given the reference of the window jump on the normal version, perhaps it's not a coincidence that he mentions his name on the remix.
All my old girls know that I'm the one that got away. I think I'm about a Christmas to play some Donny Hathaway.
Lastly, a specific detail behind the events of Yukiko Okada's death may make this whole audio suicide note theory behind Never See Me Again go even deeper. It is widely believed that what led Okada to take her own life was the deep sadness she felt inside due to her unrequited love for actor Toru Minagishi. And before passing away, she even reportedly left behind several notes which alluded to this failed relationship, and even one with the words, "I wanted to see him again," eerily matching the title of this track.
It'll be a long time before you ever see me again. Me again. Don't worry about me, just worry about you. And I'll be know what I've been up to. And it'll be a long time before you ever see me again. Me again.
However, this is all just purely speculation, and as we know, Kanye was able to escape the dark place he was in while he made this track, bouncing back from the lowest point in his career to deliver his magnum opus, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, with some pointing out that the bonus track on the album, See Me Now, almost acts as the spiritual successor to Never See Me Again, as the title and the sentiment of the track are polar opposites.
And it'll be a long time before you ever see me again. Me again. I know you see me now, right now. I know you see me now, right now. You see? You see?
See Me Now acts as the triumphant ending credits to Kanye's return to greatness, as he once again becomes comfortable with his position in the spotlight, rather than drifting off into oblivion as he contemplates on Never See Me Again.
It'll be a long time before you ever see me again. Me again. Me again. Me again. It'll be a long time before you ever see me again.
You better act like you can see me now.
Exactly. I know you see me now, right now. You see me now, right now. I know you see me now, Rosewood. I know you see me now, right now. I know you see me. I know you see me. I know you see me. It's like I'm 3D.
Whereas See Me Now got an official release, thankfully, Never See Me Again remains as merely an unreleased demo, and a sad reminder of an alternate reality where Kanye may have quit music forever, and may have even taken his own life. A reality with no Watch the Throne, no Cruel Summer, no Yeezus, no Life of Pablo, no Ye, no Kids See Ghost, and no Jesus is King. A reality where Kanye never writes that love letter to Kim Kardashian, where he never releases the Yeezy fashion line, and where he never performs on top of that floating stage. A reality where we lose the most influential artist of the 21st century. Alright, so that's gonna do it for this video. If you watched this all the way to the end, huge shout out to you, and I hope you found all of this as interesting as I did. Before I leave, I just want to give a special thanks and shout out to a few people. First off, huge thanks once again to KingKon2K11, as he was the one who gave me the idea for this video, and he also helped me out with a lot of stuff along the way. If you haven't ever checked out his stuff, please head over to his channel right now and go subscribe. He makes some great music videos that are definitely worth checking out. Also, I want to give a shout out to Jabba, a graphic designer that you can find on Instagram who makes a lot of great Kanye related content, including the So Help Me God cover I used throughout this video. Also, shout out to everyone on r/WestSubEver, and then lastly, a big shout out to everyone who helped make the Kanye West Tracker, a massive database that has basically every unreleased Kanye song ever, which I used quite extensively to make this video. I'll leave a link to it down in the description if you'd like to check it out. As far as my channel goes, if you'd like to support me, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like and share the video, turn on post notifications, and follow me on my socials. Unfortunately, because of copyright, I'm not making a dime off of these videos. So if you'd like to support me further, I'm going to consider starting up a Patreon account soon. Just let me know if you're interested. As far as the future plans for the channel go, I'm definitely planning on making more icebergs like this in the future, with Brockhampton, Frank Ocean, and the Beatles being the 3 prime candidates. So let me know down in the comments if you're interested in seeing those. For now though, I'm going to be taking at least a month break from making these, as I've quite literally spent over the last 3 months of my life making this one. However, you can expect other types of content during the next month, so just stay tuned for updates. I'll see you next time.